Chapter 7. Late night. A storm prowls the ridge. Wind howls, rain lashes, thunder splits the dark. Alena tells herself she will not look back. Hindi ngayon. If she stays, baka hindi na niya kayang iwan si Hawk. Dusk bruises the horizon. Keys, jeans, thin shirt, denim jacket warm from the fire. She slips out between thunder beats and dives into her car. Engine catches. Headlights carve rain. Gravel spits. Down the drive, past the fence, onto the narrow mountain road, ravine to the right, forest leaning in. Wipers at war. Every white line. I am leaving. Rain or sunshine. Then her spine goes electric. Rear view, headlights swelling. A familiar grill. His truck. Hawk turned back early. Of course he did. He moves like weather, silent, certain, unrelenting. She presses the gas. He keeps pace. A fallen branch. She swerves. He mirrors. The killer bend ahead. She brakes. He doesn't. In one clean move, he surges past and slews broadside. Tires shriek. Her car fishtails and stops inches from steel. Silence inside the roar. Steam ghosts the hood. Door. Handle. Now. She runs into the rain, anywhere that isn't him, until an arm bands her waist and the world tilts. Wet to wet. Heat to heat. A gasp that is half shock, half treacherous relief. Let me go! She tries for steel and lands on a shiver. His breath is a hush at her ear. His hold is firm, not cruel. He turns with her weight, and they go down together on the rain-slick shoulder, grass and gravel kissing skin. Headlights haze the downpour.
Stop fighting me,
he says, voice like thunder tamed.
You'll get hurt out here.
She looks up, drenched hair, water on his cheekbones, eyes darker than the sky, and all of it aimed at her. Her fingers fist his shirt before her mouth can lie. The heat in his gaze isn't hunger. It's recognition. You. Her knees tangle with his. The press of him detonates through thin fabric and thinner resolve.
I told you you're not gonna fall, even if I have to hold you down.
Why do you always catch me?
Because I don't want to lose you.
They go still. Foreheads touch. Restraint is a blade in his hand.
Alena, tell me to stop.
You already did, she whispers, and I hated it.
You're playing with fire.
So be it. Something breaks open. His mouth finds hers, slow, aching, rain-sweet. A careful seal that deepens by degrees. Not a raid. A surrender. Slow turns greedy, then reverent again. The kiss goes torrid. Wet breath, thunder on their tongues, and the low, ruined sound he never lets anyone hear. His hand slides from her waist to the small of her back, splaying warm, urging her closer until there's no polite air left. The other knots gently in her rain-heavy hair, angling her, tasting again. Deeper, unhurried, claiming without taking. She answers with a helpless little sound and fists his shirt, pulling him flush. He yields for a few stolen heartbeats, letting the fire crest. His mouth charts her, the edge of her jaw, the hollow beneath her ear, the corner of her mouth. He catches her gasp and gives it back to her. His palm glides the curve of her hip and the long outside of her thigh, heat blazing under soaked denim. Then stills, flexing once in refusal, leashing himself. Restraint slots back into place, shaking, but sure.
I told you I wouldn't let you fall.
He murmurs against her mouth, voice frayed with want.
Even from this.
He pulls back a breath from her lips, forehead still touching, rain drumming around them.
Say stop.
Her answer is the way she drags him down again. The storm howls approval.
I came back early,
he says hoarse.
Didn't like the feel of the sky. Or you in it without me.
I'm still leaving, she tells the rain. Rain or sunshine.
I know.
His thumb finds the corner of her mouth.
I'll still catch you.
She could run. She doesn't. He sees the shake in her hands and, before she can pretend, lifts her, one arm under her knees, one at her back. She makes a small sound and clings. "You're freezing." No triumph, only worry. He carries her to the truck and settles her in the warm, dark cab. A dry jacket wraps her shoulders like a vow. It smells not just like cologne, but signature, bergamot, vetiver, a whisper of cedar smoke, and beneath it, warm skin and rain. When it meets him, it turns into something low and liquid inside her. He buckles her in, angles the vents, shuts the door soft. Then he's back in the rain, fast, efficient. He kills her headlights, checks the handbrake, pockets her keys, locks the doors, and makes a quick call from the cab radio of his truck.
"Leave the wrecker at the bend,"
he says, voice clipped.
"Pick up the small sedan and take it straight to service. Full check. Tires, brakes, alignment."
A beat. Softer, meant for her when he slides back in.
"Your car will be picked up and serviced tonight."
He settles behind the wheel. Big, steady hands. "No, I told you so." They drive. Wipers thud. Engine hums. Pines thrash. The truck holds the line. His hand hovers above her knee, close enough for heat, far enough to count as restraint. A muscle ticks. He downshifts on slick grade, tendons standing like he's holding the reins on himself. "Hawk," she whispers. His breath stutters.
"Don't. If I touch you now, I won't stop. I won't claim you while you're shivering, while your thoughts are a storm. You deserve warm light and a steady bed, not the shoulder of a road and a man who forgets how to breathe when you say his name."
"I'm not afraid," she says, fingers on his sleeve, light as prayer.
"I am.
His grip returns to the wheel like a vow.
I'll be the safe place first."
He lifts her collar once, fingertips grazing pulse. Both inhale. He retreats like it burned him sweet. They take the longer road home. Every curve a choice not to claim what already trembles at the edge of his mouth. Every mile devotion wearing discipline like armor.
"Rest."
She watches rain river the glass, then lets her eyes close, head turned toward him as if her body already knows its direction. Outside, the storm rages on. Inside the truck, desire softens into something fiercer. She does not leave, and he keeps choosing not to take, so that when he finally does, it will be because she asked with all her warmth, all her light, and no rain between them. 3.
Hawk Copeland was losing his mind, and the worst part was how good it felt. He told himself it was logistics, security after the escape attempt, eyes on her until trust meant something again. But the truth sat low and heavy in his chest. He didn't want her out of his sight. Not because she was in danger, because she was the danger. Concrete dust hung in the warm air of the job site. Steel groaned. Men shouted measurements over the rumble of machines. And in the middle of it all, sunlight hitting rain left from the morning, Alena stood, arms crossed, eyes bright with fire, lips moving so fast he could barely catch the words.
"I'm not a prop."
She fired, every syllable a spark.
"I'm with you, and yet you don't even introduce me. What's the point of me being here if I'm just standing next to you?"
Christ, she was irresistible when she was mad, like a storm bottled in a saint's body. He almost laughed. He could watch her do this forever, hell, for the rest of his life. Her brows knit, mouth a lush, furious line. She lifted her chin, and the light found her throat. He didn't hear the end of her rant because his brain was busy surviving her. The curve of her cheek, the stubborn grace of her shoulders, the way innocence clung to sin like silk on the heat. Alena Fuentabella, sister of his enemy, thorn in his revenge, had become the one thing he couldn't quit. An addiction with a pulse. One of the architects drifted closer, smile casual, eyes not. Bad move. Hawk hooked an arm at Alena's waist and brought her to his side, a silent warning in the steel of his stare. Don't even try. The man retreated, territory redrawn, and she felt it, the claiming. She glared up at him for it. He took the hit and didn't apologize. His violet eyes mapped her like he was memorizing sins. Even without makeup, she stole the whole damn room. Hazel brown eyes, deep enough to drown a man with his boots on. Lips like stolen kisses. Skin that looked like it had never heard the word bruise. And those curves, provocation sculpted into a woman. Not yet, he told himself for the 1,000th time. When I finally have her, it will be because she asked. In light. Not in a moment I took. He rolled his shoulders, flexed his hands, like a man physically holding a line.
I'm bored.
Of course she was. Restless soul, always chasing something. He wanted to be the thing she chased back.
Can I go outside?
Impatient glint in her eyes, bratty as a dare. God, he loved this side of her. This reckless, infuriating, stunning little brat who could undo him with a smile. Go ahead, he murmured, watching her like a hawk watches weather. Half worship, half calculation. She smiled. The ground tilted under his boots. She didn't make it far. Not because he stopped her. He didn't. Because the first plan failed at step 1.
Alena wanted to scream in frustration. Where the hell is the damn car key? She flipped open every compartment in the dash. Glove box, side pocket, visor. Nothing. Pero sigurado siya. Dito iyon nilagay ni Hawk kanina. Shit. Ito na sana ang pagkakataon niyang tumakas habang abala siya sa kausap niya sa lodge house. Pero bakit sa lahat ng oras, ngayon pa siya minamalas? Her pulse pounded. Breath turned shallow against the fogged-up windshield. Outside, Hawk was still talking. Arms crossed, stance relaxed but alert. That unreadable face. That maddening silence. Door. Handle. Now. She slipped out of the car and ran, sneakers splashing mud, heart slamming into bone. Into the tree line. Into the fading light of dusk. Into the unknown. The air bit her skin. A floral halter dress clung to her thighs, damp with sweat and fear. A pink cardigan slid off one shoulder, but she didn't stop. She couldn't. Tahimik. Walang tao. Past a wooden shed, through a thicket of old pine. Still no sign of life. No safety. No signal. Kung hihingi ako ng tulong, lalong lalaki ang gulo. It could go public. My family. No. She had to do this alone. Maybe there's a payphone. Maybe Ryan. Maybe Alaric. The thoughts rang hollow. She should have felt relief. Pero bakit may pumipigil? Why did her legs hesitate the moment she imagined getting far enough to be unreachable? She wasn't running from Hawk. She was running from herself. From the ache curling low and treacherous. From the way want kept choosing him before pride could speak. From what he was starting to make her feel. Damn it. I shouldn't want him. He's my captor. My brother's enemy. The man who silences rooms with a glance. Wanting him makes me weak. And I hate that I crave the weakness anyway. And yet, the feel of his hands at her waist the night he caught her. The way his voice dropped an octave when he was near. The heat in his eyes when he looked at her like she was a secret only he was allowed to keep. Lord, why is it that every time he gets close, I want to give myself to him even when I'm angry? She stopped, breathless.
Sorry, sweetheart. Payphone's a mile off. Maybe 2.
Her stomach flipped. She spun. Hawk. Dry as dusk. Devastating. High cheekbones, long dark hair pushed back, sun-warmed skin, a jaw cut like a blade. Quiet, predatory grace that made men stand straighter and women forget to breathe. Flannel and boots looked engineered for him, not the other way around. His violet eyes locked on hers, and the world went still. She hated the way longing unfurled inside her like a secret bloom. Hated it and leaned toward it in the same breath. Her pulse tripped, knees going traitor, heat sliding up her throat like a secret she couldn't hide. The self-disgust stung, but his gaze made thought dissolve until all that was left was want. Heat flooded her cheeks. Her knees went soft.
You're trying to escape.
Hindi naman, she shot back, chin lifting. Naglalakad lang. Wala naman akong planong tumakas. Ano ako? Tanga. Walang cellphone. Walang signal. Wala akong dala. She gestured at her dress. Do I look like someone planning an escape mission? He didn't answer. He watched, faintly amused, and that only sharpened the ache she was trying to deny. And somehow that made her feel even more naked. I don't even know this place, she pushed, heart thudding. And you think I'd just run blind?
You did,
he said, taking a step.
You were hoping I'd chase you.
Her mouth opened. No words came.
Let's go home.
I need to call my family.
You will, but not tonight. Not like this.
He reached for her arm, not forceful, but firm. Like he knew she'd follow. Like he'd already won. And maybe he had, because she let him lead her. Back to the car, back toward the quiet cabin where the silence between them burned hotter than the fire. They didn't speak, but the way his hand lingered at her waist when she stumbled, the way her breath caught when their shoulders brushed, it wasn't silence. It was hunger waiting to speak. And every time he looked at her, she fell back into the same drowning loop. Longing she didn't want, self-reproach she couldn't shake, and the helpless surrender of a heart that kept forgetting which side it was on. Push and pull. She hated him and desired him. He wanted her with a passion he refused to flaunt. Still proud, still in control, and only barely. Next time, the balance would tip, and they both knew which way.
Plates hiss. Warm water runs. The soft clack of porcelain in her hands saws through his patience. Hawk sits on the couch, pretending to read, while the lines blur into Alena's silhouette. He has tried. Diosco. He has tried to be the man who looks away. But every meal she cooks, every small defiance she wields like a blade, every time she storms into his space like she owns it, another thread in him gives. Tonight it snaps on a plate. She slots it too hard into the rack, lips pursed, brows drawn. A mouth made for sin arranged into something stubborn and holy. He could kiss that mouth swollen, bite until her breath goes ragged. He doesn't. He holds the line.
Sit.
He doesn't look up. Don't order me around, woman. Mistake. The book is gone from his hands, slapped onto the table before he finishes the breath. He lifts his eyes and forgets how to take the next one. She's standing there, chest rising, eyes bright with fury and something too close to want. Cheeks flushed, lips parted. A woman seconds from snapping a leash he has no business holding.
We're not living in the medieval ages where you can dominate me.
She fires, hands to hips. His mouth curves, lazy, lethal. True. No medieval ages. He lets his gaze drift down and up, slow as a caress. But in my house, you follow my rules. She gasps, offended, aroused, betrayed by breath.
Damn you, Hawk! Don't throw your chauvinistic nonsense at me.
He tips his head, studying the flame he's about to walk into, half scientist, half sinner. She shoves his chest.
I won't follow you like some obedient pet.
He catches her wrist. She twists out sharp and clean, planting her palm to his chest in a second shove that makes him rock back a step. Pride gleams. Touch me like I'm breakable and I'll break your hand, she snaps. That tiny tremble is still there, traitor to her mouth. the quiet hitch when his fingers brush skin. Oh, darling. He takes it, and her ferocity like oxygen. You don't have to follow me, he tells her, voice even. You'll stay. With me.
Palagay mo ba papayag ako sa gusto mo?
You already did, he murmurs, leaning in just enough to make her shift. Look at you, nagging like a wife. Color climbs her throat.
Hindi ako desperada. Wala ka bang babaeng magkakagusto sa'yo kaya namimilit ka?
He stands, uncoils, tall, slow, certain. She steps back. Too late. The wall finds her spine. He brackets her with his arms, not touching. And she is caged anyway. Voila! He laughs once, quiet, unkind to his self-control. She slides one knee between them like a threat. Warning, not weapon, chin lifted. Try me.
Hawk, don't!
His fingers skim her thigh. She sucks in a breath he can taste. Look at me when I talk to you, he says, low, almost dangerous. She obeys. Of course she does. Breath shallow, pulse loud enough to count. You keep talking about loyalty to your boyfriend. He murmurs at her ear, heat dragging slow. His palm glides higher along the outside of her thigh. Torment with manners. But your body... His fingers pause at the hem of her skirt. Says otherwise. She shudders. He swallows a curse. Say the word and I stop. Her hand knots in his shirt and drags him closer. The smallest shake of her head.
Don't stop.
The two words are a brand. Say it again. He tilts her chin, makes her look at him.
Ryan is a good man.
The name flips his world upside down. Ceiling where the floor should be. Sanity spilling like nails. He takes her mouth before the ghost of those letters can stand between them. Rough first, then devastatingly sure. She bites his lower lip hard enough to sting, a savage little claim that lights him up. He answers with control, sharpened to a blade, deepening, drinking, letting her fight for the angle until she wins it and takes her own kiss back. Feral and honest, until the idea of anyone else dies in his teeth. He rips free for air, his breath saws. Don't say his name to me. She's shaking, lips flushed, kiss bitten. She hates how much she doesn't hate it. He knows because he hates how much he loves that she doesn't. She fists his collar and drags him first, a victorious half-step. Then he turns the momentum and walks her to the kitchen table. Slow, deliberate. Her knees tap wood. His hands slide to her waist and he lifts. Easy strength. Sets her on the edge like something to guard and worship.
Hawk.
A warning that tastes like want. He maps her with his mouth, jaw, throat, collarbone, vows in a language made for two. I told you not to say his name, he murmurs against her skin. Make me stop, he adds, and takes a tender place between his teeth. Her hand spears into his hair in answer, a hard, warning grip that says yes, but on my pride. He groans into her skin, the sound wrecked and reverent at once. She can't. Her body arches, traitorous, honest, and he feels pride like a sin. His palms glide down her thighs, parting them gently, reverently, as if she were fragile and this were sacred. Do you want me to stop? His voice is dark. She drags his mouth up with a fist in his shirt, lips inches from his. You don't get to decide what I want, she whispers, then kisses him like she's stealing something back. His thumb draws the border where fabric ends and heat begins.
Stop.
She breathes, weak, trembling, then fast the truth.
Don't stop.
Her legs pull him closer. Her nails score his shoulders, not defense, declaration. He smiles, wrecked, worshipful. Finally, the next kiss is slower, deep, drowning. His hand settles at the warm inside of her thigh and stays. A promise without trespass. Feeling, not taking. He maps the tremor and memorizes the cadence of her want. Her moan breaks between their mouths. He keeps it, gives it back as breath. He stops. She bucks once on pure pride, testing him. He holds unmoving steel wrapped in heat, and her breath shivers out like a surrender she refuses to name. Forehead to forehead, both of them shaking. His fingers curl where they are and do not move. I want you, he tells her, voice wrecked. But not like this. Pride tastes like restraint. Restraint tastes like worship. She blinks up at him, lashes heavy, strung tight with need. Her pride keeps the question behind her teeth. His answers anyway. When you're ready to ask for it, he says, thumb stroking her inner thigh once. Slow, punishingly gentle. She answers with a razor smile, eyes wet and defiant.
Keep dreaming.
But her hips rise, one sharp lift that betrays her. A soft sound spills from her, helpless as prayer.
Pi peste ka.
He kisses the corner of her mouth, then the tip of her nose. She nips him on the way out. A warning and a promise. He smiles like a man who loves his own torture. Sleep. Before I stop being decent. He eases back. His hand leaves her skin like a ghost leaving a room. Alena grips the table, flushed, unsteady, eyes bright with want and war. He offers his hand. Steady. Sure. She slaps her palm into his like a deal, struck at knife point, and laces their fingers anyway. His hand finds her waist, firm, anchoring. Come, let's sleep. She should refuse. She doesn't. Her trembling fingers find his. He closes over them, an answer and a dare. He doesn't take her to bed. She walks beside him, chin high, eyes still sparking. Every step a reminder that she fought, that she'll keep fighting, that pride and want can coexist like flint and steel. One day she'll beg without shame, and on that day he won't make her forget. It isn't his style. He'll make her remember, slow, deliberate, and absolutely ruined for anyone else.